Okay, so if you're like me, when making lists, I find a scrap piece of paper or the back of an envelope and I write down what I want to remember. Unfortunately, then I can't remember where I put the paper. So at the end of the last video, I talked about how we just need to dump everything from our brain into something. I suggest something that's found, however you want to find it. Otherwise, you're going to end up with lists all over the house. So I jotted a few things down. These are the things I had going on in my head that I know I need to get done, that I want to get done. And hopefully you've done the same. So let's just take a quick look about things that need to do right away or put on a different list or put in a routine. Today I'm going to mark the things that I've written down as the day goes on that needs to happen today. So I need to thaw the chicken so I have it available for tomorrow. I need to add this to the shopping list. And do I need to remind you to make a doctor's appointment, or was that something I did when I was responsible for everybody else's life? I think she can remember to make her own doctor's appointment, so let's just get that off altogether. Now, right now, as we're going through the list, I could go over the cross off chicken and take the chicken on the freezer, which ideally would probably be the best option. So let me go do that. Okay, I'm back. It's done. I can cross it off. Now, where do these things go? Right now, we've got it all on a list, and that's perfectly fine. Do you feel lighter? Do you feel like you're not carrying on so much? Again, like I said, if your brain thinks that it's complete because you're down, then it doesn't need to think about it anymore. So you're not going to find it wandering around with anything. I'm going to add this to my shopping list. Now, I've made a promise to myself that at the end of each day, my desk is going to be cleaned off because, well, as you saw, I like to do paper crafts, so that just makes a mess. This is where we start putting this list in an order that will be able to function. So I've created a few separate areas in the back of the binder. I have one that's a routines list. So I want to make sure that at the end of the night, my desk is cleaned off. So what I want to do is I want to move it over here as part of my PM routine. Clean like this. You might come over here and cross it off. And now my brain is never going to tell me to do that again. I got today. You're going to get your stuff done. It's not going to be bugging you, asking when you're going to do it, when you're going to do it. And we now have it in a place so that we can get it accomplished. I want to make sure that I remember to run the washing machine cleaner through each month. So I use a system called Flyloader, which is a zone cleaning system. And I know that my washer is in zone 1. And we'll move on to that in a bit, but I want to show it to you on my planner. So here is the week's planner, and I've marked it here. Zone 1 is my laundry, my back entry, my hallway, and my storeyard. So I want to put on here clean washer inside. So this is a reminder for me this week to make sure that that gets done. And when it does, I'll cross it off this list. But now that I've moved it to where it needs to be, then I can cross it off this master list and I won't have to think about it any longer. Um, Other things that might be a little difficult to figure out how you're going to do it. The point is we need to move everything from here out of our head into a place where it's going to get accomplished or just crossed off completely, like calling about the doctor's appointment. So we're going to, let's step over to this one here. Why it's important to write down what you actually should be doing next. Mailing a birthday card by the birth date on March 28th. Well, that's great if you have the birthday card. Because this is a little project and it has a few steps. So the first thing you really want to do is you want to buy the card. And then we want to get it mailed out. Let's say 3/20. So what we just did was we just took this one entry, mail a birthday card, and we actually broke it down to the steps we need to do. Because we're likely not going to buy the card, fill it out, mail it out all at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy the card and we're going to add this to our shopping list. And then we're going to make sure we get it out in the mailbox by the 20th. Best way to do that is to take my planner. You can use a digital or a paper. I prefer everything in paper. And one day I'll tell you that story. So the 20th is on a Friday. So we need to make sure that we mail birthday cards. So not only has it been broken down into each step, we're going to add this to it every day we go shopping. So we'll add that to our shopping list so that when we go out and do errands, we'll pick up that card. And we've already put this in the planner that we need to mail it out. So we can cross this off. Do you see how we're starting to limit the amount of things that go on the brain sweep? If we know when somebody's birthday is, we can just write their birthday down. We can write that we need to get them a birthday card, and we can write down when it needs to be mailed. And that can all be done in our planner. So that's actually something you could do ahead of time. Like a month or two ahead of time, you can put your birthdays on the list in your planner. And those things won't ever have to hit your list again. I need to make sure that I designate the days to check the water in my plants. Because I will admit that sometimes it's not until I see yellow leaves. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go to another small sheet. And this is broken down by days of the week. And you can break it down however you want. If you are off, or you don't do anything on Mondays and Tuesdays, you can combine those like I did here with Saturday and Sunday. I have very little that I do. It's more of a fun and reset day for me. But let's say I want to make sure that every Monday I water the plants or check the plants. Let's say check the plants. And I'll do it again on Thursday. Okay, so not only now do I have 2 days out of the week that I always check to see if my plants need to be watered, but I have crossed it off this list and I'll never have to put it on this list again. So as we're going through these things, can you see how they are becoming no longer a burden on your brain? Let's take food, ordered dog food. So today is the 6th. I'll probably order that tomorrow. So I'm going to put it here. Order dog food. Is this a one and done? No. How often do I have to buy dog food? Well, probably, I get a big bag, so probably only every couple of months. So if I go from March to April to May, then in May, at the beginning of the month, I can put check dog food. Check and see if you have enough. So now I've really taken it off the to-do list because now I don't even have to remember when to do it. I'm hoping this makes sense. Um, Things like, there's always 100 um, free trials out there, 30 days before we charge you, and you remember it on the 35th day. So what I like to do is when I registered for DoorDash for free for 30 days. So what I need to do is I did that on the 1st of the month. So that means by the 1st of next month, I need to have decided whether I want it or not. You don't want to wait until the 1st of the month because sometimes they charge you ahead of time. So maybe somewhere around the 26th. DoorDash renew. And you can also put down here when it expires. Or when it expires, when it renews on 3. Does all of this make sense that we're trying to do a lot of things right now? We're trying to keep everything out of our minds so that we're not burdened with carrying that around with us all the time. And as we're doing these, there are some things that are just going to be weekly or monthly or whatever. So we need to get that on some type of a schedule, either on a routine that we do every day or on I call it a weekly daily list because it is for 1 week. This is something I have to do every single day. So check the dog and cat's food, water, and clean the litter box. So I'll do that every day. If I do know that I want to do it first thing in the morning, I can always add it to my AM routine, which I do. So I'm just going to add it here. Do you see how all of that just will no longer show up on your to-do list? It's important that we try to, sorry, this doesn't look like it's in focus, but this thing is driving me crazy and I can't figure out why. But we are going to have some one-off things, like assembling the cat tower. If I want to do that, I can put that right on my planner today. Today is the 6th. But probably not. So I'm probably going to put it together tomorrow. Or I could put it together, next Thursday. Whatever I want to do. But now it's here. It's no longer here. And we don't have to think about it. We've already taken care of ordering the dog's food. It's on the list in the planning what it needs to be. I have my shopping list is actually listed on the refrigerator. So once I add these onto that list, I can cross them off. It's just a way to get our daily lives organized. So we're not always rushed. We're not always trying to figure out how, since I didn't do anything for the whole week, I have to do everything that is. And it's not going to help us. It's never going to get us ahead. We're always going to feel the pressure of not getting things done. One more thing before we go. Update the bedroom, the paint, bedroom is in the rug. I've had it on my mind for a long time, and I'm going to put this over here under projects. Now, actually, once we get into it, there's going to be another list that we make, and that is someday maybe. So maybe that's something I'm going to think about in the spring. You know, we got 6 inches of snow, so it might be a while before I think about that. And so I would cross it off of this and move it. If I want to leave it on here, what's going to happen is every Sunday I do a reset and review, and I'll do one this week. And I can pull a project off of here if I've finished something else or if I have time to do it. Maybe all I'm going to do is make myself a list as to how much it's going to cost, how much time it's going to take, or if I'm going to need any help. And then that will help me do two things. It'll help me to plan it, and it also helped me decide if it's something I really want to put time into. So hopefully this has helped you today, and I hope that you continue on with your list. And if something comes up and you're not quite sure what to do with it, please leave it in the comments. I answer all the comments, and we'll make sure that we get your to-do list done. Thanks, and have a great day.